Welcome, my loves, to Magnetic You, where science becomes strategy and frequency takes form. Intuition. You felt her. The moment your breath shortens, the subtle pull towards one direction and not the other, the unmistakable rightness that rises in your body long before your mind can explain it. Allow me to introduce the Oracle, otherwise known as your intuition. She is that quiet, wordless certainty that speaks before thought, where wisdom moves faster than explanation. And far from superstition, intuition is one of the most sophisticated systems of intelligence your body possesses. In a world obsessed with proof, quantifying, justifying, certifying, she has been whispering the truth all along. The oracle does not ask for evidence. She is the evidence. The proof follows her voice. The oracle lives in every woman who has ever sensed too much, known too soon, or been invisibly guided by her gut. And today, we breathe where the oracle once breathed. We listen where she once listened. We enter the ether, the silent field between worlds, and rediscover the science of knowing without seeing. Before time carved name into stone, before language divided sky from soul, there lived a woman who could hear the air. Her temple hung between mountain and mist, where wind forgot its direction. They called her the Oracle. When seekers braved the cliffs to find her, they discovered not a queen, but a quiet, a stillness so deep it unsettled even the most certain hearts. They were met not with words, but in breath. With each inhale, her temple would glow with charged air. With each exhale, the seeker understood without explanation. Their body remembered answers their mouths had never asked. She did not predict, she translated. She did not foresee, she sensed possibility before it formed. What she revealed was never fate, only frequency, the next note ready to be played in the song of one's becoming. All who risked life and limb to reach her left hearing not prophecy, but themselves more clearly. An eternity later, physicists and neuroscientists would rediscover what she embodied, that beneath the object lies a field of information and awareness itself is its instrument. Her temple may now live in legend, but her teachings endure, etched not in stone, but in our biology, waiting for every woman who dares to listen to her intuition. Across centuries, ancient cultures and the world's greatest minds recognized intuition. The Latin root of intuition, intuere, means to look upon, to see, not with eyes, but with awareness itself. The Greeks named it nous, divine intellect beyond reason. The Taoists called it alignment with the Tao, truth revealed through effortless flow. Einstein called it a sacred gift. Marie Curie spoke of her feeling of certainty before clarity. Leonardo da Vinci likened the receptive mind to still water, reflecting truth. Modern neuroscience is beginning to catch up with what the sages always knew, that the body is a predictive instrument, constantly reading the world and adjusting before the mind can register it. Studies have discovered that participants' bodies showed stress responses milliseconds before consciously recognizing risk in a card game. Physiology predicted danger before cognition caught up. Using fMRI, researchers observed that decisions were unconsciously encoded in the brain's motor cortex 7 seconds before participants became consciously aware of choosing. The brain moved before the mind decided. Researchers found that participants' heart rhythms changed seconds before emotionally charged images appeared on a screen, even when the sequence was randomized. Their hearts sensed what the brain had not yet seen. Intuition knows first. The mind arrives later, crafting stories to justify what the body already understood. The elegant compression of 1,000 memories into a single moment of knowing, that is intuition. Pre-conscious precision. The body predicts, the mind interprets. And when they finally agree, insight seems instantaneous, but it never was. Reason lives in the prefrontal cortex, the planner, the organizer. But intuition comes alive when that region softens into silence. When analysis steps back, awareness steps forward. Participants in one study who refrained from conscious deliberation on complex problems made more accurate decisions than those who overanalyzed. Unconscious thought outperformed reason. The unseen mind processed what the thinking mind could not. Clarity arrived not through control, but through quiet. From chess players to surgeons, fMRI display less brain activation when making rapid, correct decisions, not because they're guessing, but because their neurons fire with precision. Intuition is not effort, it's efficiency. It is mastery embodied, moving before thought has time to question. Throughout history, the greatest minds have met their revelations not at the desk, but on walks like Einstein, in baths like Virginia Woolf, or on the precipice of slumber like Salvador Dali. When the thinking mind surrenders, the subconscious can take the stage. This is why your best ideas seem to come in the shower, on a walk, or right before sleep. Intuition thrives when you are calm, not when you are chasing certainty. The parasympathetic system widens awareness. Stress narrows it. The oracle does not respond to interrogation. She responds to invitation. And this is where science becomes strategy, because intuition isn't something to wait for, it's something you can train. The oracle's wisdom is not mystical, but methodical. It speaks through breath, rhythm, stillness, and pattern. The everyday rituals that tune your biology into the field of knowing. So first, create coherence. Practice slow, extended exhales, ideally twice the length of your inhale. Extending the exhale stimulates the vagus nerve, increasing parasympathetic activity and lowering cortisol, shifting the body into a calm, receptive state where insight can emerge. During slow, rhythmic breathing, brain imaging reveals that activity decreases in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, while activation rises in the insula, the region responsible for interoceptive awareness. In this state, your body becomes a translator, not a transmitter of tension. Calm sharpens intuitive precision. Stress distorts it. When the body steadies, the mind becomes spacious. Breath becomes the tuning fork between heart and brain, the rhythm that restores coherence and clarity. Second, learn the language. Ask throughout the day, where do I feel this truth? Is it a tightening in the gut, a warmth in the chest, a lift behind the eyes? Labeling sensations decreases activity in the emotional centers of the brain and increases communication with the prefrontal cortex. The act of naming a feeling transforms instinct into information. Those with higher awareness of their internal signals like heartbeat and breath rhythm tend to make faster, more accurate, intuitive decisions. Their bodies whisper the answer before the mind forms the question. Location builds vocabulary. Vocabulary builds fluency. You are learning the language through which your intuition speaks. Third, record resonance. Let data serve intuition, not the other way around. When a flash of clarity arrives, write it down before you analyze it. Then later, bring data to validate, not to overwrite. Reflecting on intuitive accuracy, as shown in cognitive research, strengthens the neural pathways that connect intuition and validation. The more often you record and confirm an intuitive success, the more your brain learns to trust its own internal guidance system. Furthermore, reinforcement of correct intuitive recognition refines the brain's pattern, matching networks, making each future insight faster, clearer, and more reliable. With every exhale, every signal named, every truth recorded, awareness expands, and with it, the precision of trust. When the winds remembered change, the oracle's temple lifted, thought by thought, breath by memory, returning to stardust, to the silence from which all knowing begins. And though she passed into legend, the oracle lives on in every woman who pauses long enough to hear herself before the world speaks for her. In every mind that knows before proof. And in every heart that dares to trust sensation before certainty. She breathes through you now, in every intuitive flash, every quiet truth, every inexplicable calm. She is the reminder that wisdom is not earned by force. It is received by frequency, To know without seeing is not blindness, it is brilliance unbound. Ether is not elsewhere, it hums beneath your skin, a frequency waiting to be felt. To listen is to lead, to feel is to know, to trust is to create. And if you felt something deeper calling you in this journey, a sound you recognize but cannot yet name, this is the crossroads where intellect can no longer protect what intuition is ready to reveal. The truths you already know, that clarity is your birthright, that your next evolution will not be louder, but lighter. Not something to build, but something to hear. In Magnetic You Coaching, we step into this field together, not to predict your path, but to translate it, not to push you forward, but to bring you into frequency with what's already calling. You will learn to navigate the unseen with the same mastery you bring to the visible. You will learn to trust yourself the way physics trusts gravity without proof. Because once you learn how to listen, every path, every purpose, every decision aligns to your frequency. This is the invitation beneath achievement, the calm beneath brilliance. The field between worlds is waiting for you to remember. You were never meant to chase clarity. You were designed to channel it. Your ether activation awaits you in the description. Subscribe because the current is good. Share because together is better. Stay luminous, stay true. Magnetic You.